The show's about to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. Today we are taking your crazy jealousy relationship stories. So we'll be reading off any stories that you have and taking stories from the host also, any stories that you have that's talking about, jealousy in your relationship, your past girlfriend or boyfriend being jealous. I'll even take friends being jealous because I know that is a thing. I don't know how friends can be jealous, but I know that is a thing. So I'll even talk about friends being jealous in your relationship. And we'll take a couple of your relationship questions tonight. Tonight we are supposed to be joined by Logic, Char, and BJ. However, right now it's just Kai on the air. So you just have me. And again, as always, we have our sponsor, Zipporah Hair and Eyelash. So you'll hear their commercial later on in the show, and you can go visit them on their Instagram at blackpearlbeauty_pro. So normally at this time, I would be asking, how's everyone doing tonight? But there's nobody here except me, so I can't ask anybody that. Last week y'all were actually in on my moving with me. I didn't even get to listen to the replay of that show, so I don't know how much noise there was at that time. So I do apologize for the noise. However, you got to experience a bit of my journey. In terms of, I guess, what's in the news, I don't know if y'all heard, but I bet you Logic is up on this, and he'll have a lot to say about this. But I don't know if y'all heard about that new Harriet Tubman movie that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know if you saw the previews also. The previews kind of look like it wouldn't really befit the story of Harriet Tubman. But if you haven't, we're going to actually post those previews to our Facebook page at No Conduct Radio later on in the show. And you can go ahead and see it and tell us what you think about the previews. But the reason I bring this up is because the actress, and I'm going to have to look up her name, the actress who's supposed to play Harriet Tubman is actually a British woman. Let's see, who is going to play Harriet Tubman? I'm gonna tell you in a second. Harriet Tubman. So yeah, she's a British Nigerian woman. So which means probably her parents are Nigerian and she's first generation British. But she's playing Harriet Tubman, which because I know there's probably people out there who don't know who Harriet Tubman is. But Harriet Tubman is a Black American. She was a slave. She escaped, and she helped to start the Underground Railroad, helping other slaves to escape slavery. So she was a Black American who was in slavery. Now, if you are African, you don't really know anything about slavery, and on top of that, you're a British citizen, so I don't really think they teach about slavery in England. So then my thing is, how is she the face of Harriet Tubman? Now, before you jump on me and say, well, Kai, you're always talking about, how we should be one people. Look, I agree with that. But if you're portraying somebody from history, you should at least know something about her. It's just like the actor who played MLK. He actually had not heard of Martin Luther King or knew anything about Martin Luther King before he played Martin Luther King. Now, don't you think if you come from the history of these people who were in that struggle, who heard about Martin Luther King every single year in school, whether it was just for 5 minutes because, they don't really teach us about it in school. But you hear about it every single year, and more than likely Black Americans look up more to like Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King than even somebody from the islands or somebody from Africa would. Those are the people who would portray the character better because those are the people who are very invested and interested in the character and would do it justice. Now, she has no real ties to Harriet Tubman or slavery or anything like that. In Africa, they teach slavery completely different than what they teach it in the United States, because I've asked Africans what they heard about slavery, and it's the complete wrong story. But anyway, so number one is that. Number two is where my biggest problem stems from, is she follows and supports this one, I think she's a YouTuber. She's an online contributor. She's a content contributor. And that contributor basically down talks Black Americans. Like, she does not like Black Americans. Like, I don't want to say all, but a lot of Africans don't. They don't like Black Americans. And this one YouTuber or contributor did not like Black Americans. And she follows this contributor and supports this contributor. So if you support somebody and you agree with somebody who doesn't like Black Americans, how are you going to come here and play Harriet Tubman, for God's sake? Like, how are you going to play a prominent figure in Black American history when you don't even like Black Americans? You know what I'm saying? And now she's trying to like backpedal and say, no, we're all one people, I never blah, blah, blah. But you can clearly, once you do something online, it's never erased. It's easily found. So you can clearly see that she followed and agreed with this contributor, but now she's playing Harriet Tubman. So this is where my biggest problem comes in. And I'm going to take a pause in that to say, hey, BJ, hey, Char, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Hi. We both just popped in? Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I was just talking to the audience because I was here by myself for the first, 3 minutes of the show, I guess. But I was talking about that new Harriet Tubman movie. Have y'all seen the previews?
No, not at all. I'm learning something by listening to your I wasn't even aware. Wow.
Well, we're going to post the previews. When Logic comes on, I'm going to ask him to post the previews later on to our Facebook page. But the previews doesn't look like it would do any kind of justice to Harriet Tubman. And then, like I was telling our listeners, the woman who's playing Harriet Tubman, she's actually a Nigerian British actress. So she has, like, no ties to Black Americans at all. But she's playing a prominent Black American. And my biggest problem is the fact that she has shown that she doesn't like Black Americans, but then she's playing Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? So this is where my problem in this whole situation lies. What are y'all? Because y'all are Black Americans. What are your views on somebody who doesn't like Black Americans playing Harriet Tubman?
That's ridiculous.
Oh my God,
that's crazy. But then again, that's how it is. I'm not surprised. It's just not surprising.
Oh boy!
Would you go and support? Would you go and support the movie?
Yourself.
Like, are you going to go see it?
No, I haven't been to a movie in a while, so I don't really go to movies like that now. No.
I mean, really, DJ? Do you not enjoy them, or you just don't have time to just sit through, the process?
The time thing is,
yeah.
That interests me. I can't leave my brain functions and waste the time on that. No, I can't do that. I can never get my time back.
Do you watch television? Do you watch movies at home, though, to unwind?
Yeah, I do that, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You know what? I wouldn't protest. I wouldn't do a silent protest and just not go to see the film because the story itself is part of our history, and that's important, and I would love to see how it's portrayed. So,
good
hello?
God, Char, but no. Why would you? No.
Mm-hmm.
That's like everybody saying, finally.
Based on the actor, what does it have to do with the actual history and the story itself? She's just an actor that's hired to portray the character. So to me, that's not a reason to protest the movie. That doesn't make sense.
As long as they get the story right, if you don't care who acts, that's what I'm trying to say. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that wouldn't bother me to the point where I'm like, well, I'm just not going to go.
That's like somebody who was one of the Knights of Columbus, I think that's what they call it, playing Michael Jackson. So you would support that just as long as they got the story right?
Well, I'm not supporting the he character. All I'm saying is, to me, it's, you know how much time, think about what movie producers and directors and writers go through. There's a lot that's put into putting together a good story that's then transformed into a film or a play or what have you, and that's art in itself, and this is history. I would love to see, their version of what happened in her life. I don't see that as a reason to not go. And I actually do enjoy movies very much. I just wasn't aware of all this drama that's happened behind this particular actor that's portraying her character, but it wouldn't be enough reason for me not to go, not at all.
Wow.
And to be honest with you, can I just say this? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, can I say this? I do really like movies, but I've never been a fan of going to the movies to watch a documentary or historical reproduction of anything, but I would still catch it on television and likely maybe even enjoy it. If I go to the movies, which I, again, like to do, it's more so for action or thrillers or maybe even a really good love story, but something to that effect. I don't see myself paying the $10, the $5 or $6 for the popcorn, the $4 or $5 just for the drink, all of that, and then to watch it. But I still would support it in the sense that I would watch it at home just because I want to see how it is done. Does that make sense at all, guys? That's just how
I hear you. I don't agree, but I hear you. That's why Black Panther got so many rave reviews, because almost everybody, including my parents, were like, well, they have a movie with Africans and black people with their natural hair. And I'm glad I didn't go to the movies. But, when I finally saw this movie, it was terrible. But let's support it because it has black people. Like, that's not really giving a good, I don't know how to explain it. That's not giving really a good, encouragement for them to make better movies with us. Now they could just throw together whatever as long as it has black people with natural hair. Here's a movie. Eat that up. You know what I'm saying?
But what if you're a Marvel fan? What if you're a fan of Marvel Comics? And what if you're a fan of
I am a fan of Marvel Comics.
Effects? But special effects are enough reason alone to see it at the movies. Because at home it's not even the same.
The special effects were terrible.
Oh,
what
I thought it was
about?
really exciting. I really enjoyed it. There's no way I'm going to get the same feeling at home unless I have, a 600 inch screen or whatever. But what I'm saying is certain things you do want to see.
That movie was horrible. Out of the Marvel universe, they could have done way better with that movie.
Well,
and a lot of people supported it, and it made a ton of money.
Anyway. Yeah.
A lot of people supported it. It made a ton of money, and now they're making it number 2. So I'm pretty sure number 2 is going to be just as big as a piece of shit as number 1 was.
No, that's
really
interesting.
They're
making another one.
Wow.
Well, why?
Yeah, of course.
Well, it takes a
why
year.
Wouldn't that, Char, really? It made a lot of money. That's all they see is dollar signs.
No, I'm saying why so soon? Because didn't we all just go see this last year? It hasn't been a good year yet, I don't think, or has it been just a year?
It's going to probably be like 2021 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But still, the point is, my point is, because of people like you, but no offense, but because of people like you, they're making a second Black Panther, which was trash in the first place. It should have just been redone better. And for people to run around talking about, a movie with black people, there was Blade, and Blade was amazing. And not a lot of people went to it because, it goes back to the whole everybody's a sheep. So now being a nerd and watching comics and wearing comic stuff is cool. But back when I enjoyed it, and I was enjoying it before everybody else, it wasn't cool because you were a nerd. So Blade, which should have gotten rave reviews and a lot of money, did not get as much money as Black Panther. And this is what's going to happen with Harriet Tubman. It's going to be people like you who's going to be like, well, I just want to make sure, I just want to see how they portray it, and they're going to go see it. And this woman who hates Black Americans playing a Black American is not going to make a lot of money playing a Black American, but she still looks down on all of y'all.
Okay, but Kai, there's a positive side to this whole Black Panther thing. There's a positive side to them doing a sequel, and I'm going to tell you what it is. At least we all know this time not to arrive, men and your dashikis and women with your head wraps. and traditional African garb. At least we've got a heads up not to do that and make fools of ourselves this time around. Okay, so at least that's a positive thing.
Who the hell told you they got that heads up? And dashiki is not an African garb at all. That's an American version of what they portray African garb to be.
Well, tell that to the millions of people that, did go to the movies and actually wore the dashikis in their African garb with their headrest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're acting like they learned. They're not going to learn. They're going to do it again. What are you talking about?
Well, no. The reason why they did it the first time is they assumed it was more about a traditional African culture or something. It had nothing to do with, I shouldn't say nothing, but once they realized what it was really about, it's like, oops, did I really embarrass myself and go to the extremes?
Sure, I don't know who you've been hanging around, because I had to tell this one little boy that that country Wakanda wasn't real. So these people thought they did the right thing. What are you talking about?
Actually, to this day, many people do think Wakanda does exist.
Okay, so why do you think, if many people think Wakanda exists, why do you think they learned their lesson that it had nothing to do with African culture?
Well, because many people did say they really felt kind of silly once they realized it, and they, showed up, and they were all like on the red carpet with it, taking their pictures in their African traditional garb.
First of all, you should have felt dumb the first second you had a thought in your head thinking that a Marvel movie was going to show African culture and it was about Africa. Are you kidding me? It's a Marvel movie. It's fake.
Curiosity a bit, I'm not saying anyone's going to shove their bones in their nose or anything, but I just really felt like it's something for us. And then once I was into the film, I did at least appreciate the hairstyles, some of the various representations of Africa, that because it was obviously many different tribes. It didn't appear to me that Wakanda was just one place with one tribe. It seems like a gathering of sorts. But at the same time, it's sci-fi. It wasn't even real. So it's kind of like it plays with your mind in that manner. Now, this Harriet Tubman thing, I don't see it being on any level of, special effects or anything. They're hopefully going to tell the story from the historical standpoint of what really happened, so that people that don't know.
Well, first of all, you can already see from the previews that that's not the case, because they had a bunch of black people helping with the Underground Railroad, and that's not historically accurate, because it was a bunch of abolitionists, which are white people, who was primarily helping with the Underground Railroad.
So are you saying
that's
true.
They're going to show so will it be an actual railroad in the film then, like some people do believe?
I really hope not, because I would boycott it even harder. I really hope not.
Okay.
But they had Harriet Tubman.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Why did you say it? Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So there is a character, there's a person on a reality show. Her name is Portia Williams. She's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for about 8 years. And she's younger and a little dingy, on the dingy side. Hosea Williams, first granddaughter. Anyway, long story short, this woman actually thought that the Underground Railroad was an actual physical railroad, but yet she is the daughter of a historically known, activist for black people. And she did not know it wasn't a railroad. So I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there who really need to go to that film so they can learn what they don't know. Does that make sense at all? That's all I'm saying.
Or they could pick up a goddamn book instead of going to a film that's totally not going to be accurate.
Because Hollywood's going to put a twist to it, so it won't be. Trust me, it won't be accurate.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that now.
Exactly.
It's not going to be accurate. Because if it's accurate, that makes
did you hear about that anyway?
Huh?
Did you hear about Portia Williams? You know who Portia Williams? I mean, you have heard of her character from Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? Portia. She's all over the news.
I don't watch the show. I heard of it.
But you've heard of her. Oh, okay. So you didn't hear about that whole bit with her literally, like, seriously not realizing that the Underground Railroad was not a real road?
Nah, I don't really watch reality TV.
Jose Williams,
and if that was my daughter, and she did that on national TV, as old as she is, I would slap the shit out of her.
That's crazy.
I would straight slap the shit out of her. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Was worse. Yeah, well. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, yeah, Kai, I'll look out for it, though, especially when it goes to video.
There goes the video.
First of all, we no longer have it going
video.
to video.
Video.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God!
Okay, I've been waiting a long time. I've been waiting a long time. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that less than 2 years
Char,
ago, things were
VCR
still going to Blu-ray? No. I was being facetious. I just said I'd be waiting a really long time. Did you guys know that less than 2 years ago, movies can still be seen on Blu-ray video? Like literally less than 2 years ago, whatever you see at the movies would go straight to Blu-ray in about anywhere between 3 and 6 months. And that was a big deal, you know, the Blu-ray. Now it's like streaming, of course, but yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was very interesting. Thank you, Char.
You're quite welcome. Anything I can add? Anything I can add to enhance our subjects?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can. Wow, I'm thinking.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll check out the trailer though. You said you're going to have it posted somewhere, so I'll take a look at it.
Logic's here. Did y'all not hear him?
I said it, I heard him.
Oh, hi, Logic. He should have had his theme song coming on. My logic is undeniable.
Yeah.
Logic, how much did you hear? Did you hear about Portia Williams and the Underground Railroad? Hosea Williams' granddaughter.
Listen, I don't care about those reality show Negroes.
You see?
I don't listen to that.
Oh, you got time for that.
No.
Would you go to the movies to see any? Well, do you go to the movies to enjoy any type of movie? Any subject matter?
Yes, I enjoy movies. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't participate. I don't participate in buffoonery. And this whole Harriet Tubman thing coming. This whole Harriet Tubman thing come out is an abomination because this actor, I can't even remember what her name is.
Kai has it.
What's that?
Oh shoot! I was supposed to be looking it up, and I kept talking and I forgot to look it up.
Her name is Cynthia. Her name is Cynthia Erivo. Erivo, and she has a Tony Award and everything. She's from the stage. She's a stage actor in Britain, but the problem is that she supports this online character named Lovey, which is another Nigerian, and those African communities they run around with each other and everything, and she's horrible towards black people. She says typical racist things like, why can't black people get their stuff together, and I have no idea what it's like to feel like a poor black person. I thought everybody had a maid like me, and blah blah blah. So she's terrible towards black people. This girl is her homie. She
really talks like that? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
And this is her homie, and she rides with her, and she was unapologetic about it until she got this role, and then all of a sudden she hits a U-turn, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm all for black struggle, and we, and it's always around those times when they can benefit from knowing black people, that black Spanish people and Africans and Caribbean people all of a sudden start talking French, and they start saying we all the time, we this and we that, and they haven't had any blood or sweat in the game like us. Idris Elba came out and said something about Samuel L. Jackson, because Sam Jackson said it seems like Hollywood has this weird love affair with British black actors. As if black people here can't act as well. And he was like, why would you divide us? Because we blah, 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 and we this. But Idris Elba, when he was just acting in Britain, was a nobody. He came here to this country and got his notoriety by playing a Baltimore gangster named Stringer Bell. And he had to hang out in New York to get the slang and everything like that. And, hey, all big ups to him for that. But don't act as if anything that British black people do, they send our way. BJ, can you remember the last time Africans have ever done anything to help American black people?
Nope.
Or Caribbean black people have done anything that black people in the mainland directly benefit from? I can't remember anything. I don't remember any Rastafarians marching with us in the 50s. I don't remember any of that.
Exactly.
I don't remember any, kente cloths from the Ivory Coast sending money over to the Black Panthers or sending money over to, Malcolm X and everything when he split away from the Nation of Islam, was trying to take that court case to the UN. I don't remember any upscale British black people sending any money his way, any pounds to be, exchanged for dollars. I don't remember any of that happening. I know every time I turn around, they got some, salmon-laced black people sitting around with flies on their face asking me for $60 a day or whatever. I know that.
Yeah.
I know every time I turn around that some Africans are kidnapping young girls and doing crazy stuff. They hashtagging to us over here in America, bring our girls home. Do they? Was there any black African or black British hashtags for the black kids in Katrina or Flint, Michigan being poisoned? I don't remember any of that happening. So there, I got a real problem with American black people who are descendants of slavery going through all of this anguish to get equal rights, to get fair education, to get affirmative action and jobs, and fighting against real estate redlining, and in the entertainment field, getting fair treatment in music and entertainment. And then everybody else, after all the hard work and heavy lifting is done, and now the big paychecks are coming in, here they come all of a sudden, just off the boats and off the planes, and we, brother, we. We? No. And that Harriet Tubman movie is shot by the director who did Eve's Bayou, and I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but the movie looks terrible. It looks like one of those made-for-TV Lifetime movies. It's very cheap-looking, and it seems like they're trying to, we got to make her a badass, and, they're trying to cash in on this the woke dollars right now, instead of actually telling a story about an iconic American slave that was very instrumental in this Underground Railroad system being, connected and laid out. They're not telling that story because they want to make sure that they give her that moment of, Harriet, you got lucky the last time. Ain't nobody going to tell me what I can do. Like, are you? Really?
Yeah.
Really? There was a black guy at the end of her journey to help her settle into a life in the North. Black people didn't have that kind of power. So why would she be talking to another black person? It would have been, again, the abolitionists, along with some black people that would, tell her, okay, this is where you go to work, and we'll try to find you some gainful employment and a place to live. Because, again, if you want to be real, this is your opportunity to show that the North was just as racist as the South. So if you really want to actually tell a story correctly, you know what I mean? But they're not doing that. They're just trying to cash in on this rah-rah feeling. And again, they're trying to make it a woman power type of thing, and it was much bigger than that. Okay? Harriet Tubman, the whole time, suffered from migraines because some slave owner. There was a white guy in the store, cracked her in the head with a hammer or something because she was taking too long to do something. She suffered with that for the rest of her life. She was also, when the Civil War broke out, she was a slave she wasn't a slave, I'm sorry, she was a spy that masqueraded as a slave on the other side, and she would keep coming back to the North and giving information. You know what I mean? So she was a part of the spy network in the Civil War. Doesn't seem like they're going to cover that either. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Don't plan on seeing it. But these are all character traits that would have gone best if you would have got a person who was passionate and understood the gravity of this character. Not someone who's just, oh, yeah, I'll take the paycheck. Who is this? All right, I'll read about him today. No. But I blame black people ultimately because this is going to make money.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh what? It's gonna make money. Oh, definitely
Well, like
make money.
Char said, she's gonna see it because it has nothing to do with this actress who is playing it. She just wants to see how they portray. And I'm like, Char, you're part of the problem.
Right. And what you have to ask yourself is, do you think that if they were doing a movie about George Washington, no, not even George Washington, that's not even said. If they were doing a movie about Elvis, do you think that they would let a British person play Elvis?
Nope.
No.
A British person who hates Elvis play Elvis.
Yeah, a British person who hates rock and roll, they're going to play Elvis. No.
And they doing
That
the
ain't gonna
Elvis
happen.
movie too. They doing the Elvis movie.
You said what?
They doing the Elvis movie, and the white guy's doing it. I forgot his name. They doing one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But he's American.
He's American.
Yeah, of course. Oh, come on, Kai. Why did you even ask that question? You know, if they were going to do a movie about Hiawatha or Yellow Hawk or even Black Hawk or Crazy Horse, do you think Native Americans would allow a Spanish person or a Turkish person to play that Indian?
Way.
Because they would
they'll
go
protest.
off.
They'll protest. Boy.
You know what I mean?
A Latino person
to...
who calls Native Americans Indians and say they are, the dregs of the earth or something like that.
And last but not least, let's take it to the Brits themselves. If they ever did a movie about Princess Diana, you best believe it wouldn't be a French woman playing Princess Diana. I don't care how good her accent was. They would not allow a non-white UK woman to play Princess Diana.
Remember,
it would have
they had James Bond. I think the first James Bond who wasn't actually British or something like that. There was an uproar about it. An uproar about a fictional character.
No, the first Bond was Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
He's Welsh. He's Welsh.
Well.
You know, so he is from the UK.
Well, I remember that there was something. Go ahead.
They were talking about getting some American to play him one time, and they were like, "Well, no, James Bond is British, and he's MI6, and we need to." And they clamped down on that real quick. They didn't even want a British black dude playing.
They didn't want a black man. They want him, the Eldred, to play it. Because he's a black man.
So this is where black people need to have integrity, and they need to not, because Hollywood is not worried about what's morally right or properly educating people about this time period. They don't care about any of that shit. They care about cashing in on your easy, stupid Negro dollars. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to run out and you're going to wear your dashikis, which are loosely based off of kente cloths from specific tribal nations in the Ivory Coast that you know nothing about. You're going to wear your so-called African flag, and you're going to go there and you're going to eat your popcorn and you're going to make some money. Instead of holding their feet to the fire saying, first of all, you didn't take long enough with the script. You didn't take this situation serious enough. There's plenty of black people in Hollywood, Oprah, all these musicians, all of these people that could have put a decent budget together to tell this story that's never been told before for some reason.
Yeah.
This
Tyler
is your
Perry
moment
could have did it.
Yeah, right. And no, Tyler Perry is another
Did you
hack
just say?
that has nothing.
I thought you said Halle Berry. I was about to slap you, BJ.
No, Tyler Perry.
That's what I thought
Tyler
he said
Perry
too.
is another hack that needs to not come anywhere close to such an iconic character. He does movies about Mama done burnt the biscuits, and let him continue to do movies about that. That's what he needs to say.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
You know? Now, and another person I wouldn't want coming close to this is Spike Lee. That's another hack that they need to stop acting like he's such a
What's wrong with Spike Lee?
Oh, please. Spike Lee doesn't know how to end the movie. You ever watched his movie to the end? At the end, it's just like the inside man. He just went home and said, I guess tomorrow I'll talk to... And then that was it. It was the end of the movie. Talk to who are you going to talk to? What happened? Did you find the guy? Did you ever catch him? What? No answers. School Days it started off great, but then at the end, he just ran out of his dorm and started banging the bell saying, "Wake up!" And then
it's over.
Wake up. What? I mean, I understand what you were going, but that's just about as subtle as a turd on a white carpet. Are you serious? That's the best you could do? Ugh. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
You guys are very
movie,
expressive today.
it's not a look. You look at a movie like Dances with Wolves. That was a fictional movie, but it was about a specific time period when the Lakota people were being pushed off the plains. They took that very seriously. The wardrobe, the set designs, everything was impeccable in that movie. You look at Gladiator. They took it very seriously.
Yeah,
Kingdom of Heaven. If you haven't seen Kingdom of Heaven, you are fucking up in life. The set design and specifically the costume design in that movie was, I've never seen anything that came close to it yet. You know? These were movies that they took very, very seriously. They took their time with the script. You know, this is what you should have done with this movie, because this is a very iconic person. So for you to not give it that tender loving care that it deserved, they just announced this movie like a year ago, and it's already done. So that lets you know that they didn't take any time with it. It's just, I'm telling you, it's going to be a bunch of fields, trees, a couple of set pieces when they're inside of the building, and then that's it. That's it. It's just going to be a bunch of cheap dialogue and back and forth, and the movie's going to be over, and it's going to be Oscar jerk-off bait, and then she's going to walk around like she's a part of the American black royalty at the Oscars, and I was so happy when I channeled this character, and it's going to be a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like, because all of the black people that could have played this part, Angela Bassett, Alfred Woodard, even Whoopi, back in her prime when she was younger, could have played this part. She would have looked very authentic playing this part. You waited till you got this stage acting, singing chick who knows really nothing about slavery or the angst of being a black person in this world to navigate in this time. She has no connection to it. In fact, she's friends with someone who marginalizes it. This is the person you decided to give the role to? And then, unfortunately, there are thousands of people out there that think like Char, where I just want to see it because now it's the time and it finally... And here we are. Black Panther. Africans have completely hijacked it like they're the ones that made the comic book successful. You think Africans were buying the Black Panther comic? Oh, yeah. Yes. They were like, Africans. And yes, it's true. It is true. If they would have never colonized us, you probably would have done nothing.
Oh, let me shut up.
But my point is, they try to hijack it as if they are the ones that made the comic book successful. How many Africans do you think was reading, Marvel comics in the 60s and 70s when this thing started? How many?
Yeah,
and then black people, to me, are also equally, American black people are equally fraudulent because they didn't even read the comic. It was white people that made the comic successful because they were the ones that bought it and read it. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, it's finally time? What did you know about the character beforehand? What are you talking about finally time?
Not a daggone thing.
You're pushing for a whole, what's the guy's name? Billy D. Williams' character from Star Wars. I can't remember his name. He was like, he needs a origin story now, just like Solo. You didn't watch Star Wars in
Orlando
the 70s,
Calrissian.
so what are you talking about?
Orlando Calrissian.
Why?
Well, that's what I said. That's what I was telling Char and them is that back in the day, it wasn't cool to be a nerd. So, black people weren't nerds. They just made fun of people who were nerds. Now it's cool, so now everybody's jumping on it. Oh, let's do Star Wars, or oh, let's do Marvel. Let's show more of our people. Like, if you were in on it before, we would be showing more of our people because you would have been writing more of our people. You would have been interested in that, investing in that. But you weren't, so... Stan Lee had to come out with Black Panther. Stan Lee came out with Black Panther. And he actually fought for Black Panther to be the way that he was, because when he came out with Black Panther, the publishers and everybody, they were like, oh, no, this is too, black, too militant. We don't want this, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, this is what it is. End of story. Where were black people then? But anyways, I implore Char and anybody who's thinking like Char to think a different way, please. Like, let's not go and support this so that they could make a Harriet Tubman too.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
Yeah, Harriet Tubman too. Electric Boogaloo.
What?
So are we protesting outside the theater or what? I mean, on opening night? I don't know. I just don't.
I am doing all of that. Look. Let me get down to it, Char. First of all, we don't do black people protests here, which actually holds no merit to anybody. When I do a protest, it's going to hit your pocket. I'm not buying from you.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the protest that works. Silently walking down the streets and signs in your hand, nobody gives a fuck about that. Yeah. Now, if you hit them in the pocket, that's what they give a fuck about.
The corporate America, yep.
Well, that's how
all you're doing is giving CNN free programming, because all they got to do is cut from whatever thing they're talking about. Oh, right now we got people walking down the street in Baltimore. Do you know what they're complaining about? Do you know what this is about? No. We'll have more of this later. Of course you will.
Yeah.
You're calling up Al Sharpton right now so he can do a split screen with you.
Oh, yeah.
Al, what is yours?
It's an outrage.
Al Sharpton and all those people get on my goddamn nerves.
I remember the most ridiculous thing I heard from Al Sharpton was he was saying something. I can't even remember what he was talking about, but he said, if one black person is offended, we all are offended.
What?
I was like, wow.
Damn.
Well, I'm glad he told me, because I quite frankly am not offended by most of the shit they talk about.
Damn.
If one black person, like we're some kind of high-minded creatures that, offensive.
Yo,
I don't know what I'm feeling this about, but
there's
a black person offended somewhere.
No, because remember when black people tried to come out and say they were offended about Robert Downey Jr. playing the guy disguised as the other guy playing another guy?
Exactly.
I wasn't offended. I thought it was hilarious.
You to not understand the whole point of that was how ridiculous this actor was. That not only did he get chosen to play a black guy in a military movie, but he then went and did permanent cosmetic surgery to get black skin and kinky
black
hair
features,
so he
black
could properly
hair.
play this part. Is the funniest thing in the world of these actors that take themselves too serious.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything to do with clowning black people. It was the fact that this dude got permanent surgery to play a part.
Damn.
I'm sorry. That's funny. That's too funny.
And he never broke character.
And he was equally getting offended by certain things they would say about, what you mean, you people. And he's like, what you mean, you? What you mean? What you mean? What are you talking about? You're white.
The only time he broke character was when you said something about Crocodile Dundee.
Right, because he was Australian. Hey, pump your brakes, kid. That man is a national treasure.
But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to commercial. And when we come back from commercial, we're going to discuss your crazy relationship stories and actually read some relationship stories on air about, what happened. And when I say relationship stories, I'm talking about relationship in marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, or even friends. So we're going to go ahead and go to commercial, and we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, Kai here with No Conduct Radio. I'm here to talk to you about Zephora Hair and Eyelash. That's your exclusive stop for hair and lash products. If you speak with their clients, they'll tell you that the company guarantees top quality along with unique, limited edition, and seasonal items that fits any budget. Men, this new product that I'm talking about is all about you. The Barber Slab Beard and Hair Oil produces hair growth, heals your scalp, heals any razor bumps you may have, and offers your skin a clear complexion. It contains vitamin A, B, C, and D, and is chemical-free. And for those conscious ones out there, it's vegan and all natural, and it's not tested on animals. It comes in 2 sizes, a 4-ounce and for $7 and an 8-ounce for $12. You can try a sample of Barber Slab Beard and Hair Oil for only $3 plus shipping and handling by purchasing it on their website at ZephoraHairandLash.online. Also, look them up on Instagram at BeardPearlBeauty_pro. To make it easier for you, you can just visit our website, www.noconduct.com, and you can find Zephora Hair and Eyelash right there on our homepage. Click on their banner, and they'll take you right to their site so you could try out the Barber Slab Beard and Hair Oil product.
And we're back. And I know I said in the commercial Beard Pearl Beauty_pro as their Instagram, but their Instagram is actually Black Pearl Beauty_pro. So that's Black Pearl Beauty_pro at their Instagram for Zephora Hair and Eyelash. So if you
that's
wanted
only
to
$3. Hi, sorry.
For a sample, yes.
It's only $3. Oh,
yes.
The sample. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. And that's for, this is for the beard oil, so for men. So if you wanted to get a present for your man, you can actually go ahead and get one of their samples there just for $3. And I've smelled people with beard oil before, and it's so good. I'm a person who likes beards. I don't like clean. There are very few men who could pull off clean shaven. Usually men look like babies with a clean shaven face. I don't really like it. But I'm somebody who I like close shaven beards, and I like goatees. So, and guys with like scent in their beard is so nice. It's so nice. So yeah, this will definitely work wonders for your guy. So anyways, what I wanted to say is if you have a crazy jealous relationship story and you want to share it with us, you can either call in live at 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378 and hit option 1 so we know that you want to tell your story. Or you can send it in on our Facebook at No Conduct Radio, and we'll be happy to read it on air or put it on our website. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and ask the host first. Do y'all have any crazy, jealous relationship stories? Let's start off first. Do you have any jealousy stories with your exes? Anybody?
Well, jealousy and what? Well, you mean like a person you feel threatened by a person?
I mean, what other kind of jealous is there?
I don't.
Okay,
I don't know.
You mean like relationship-wise logic? Like a girl who's like, who are you looking at? Who's that? Why are you, just jealous.
No,
just
but
see,
girls get screwy. Sometimes girls get jealous because a man has focus in something else he's doing that isn't about her. Some girls are like that. Like,
oh shit, I forgot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like if a dude has been building a car for 5 years before he met her, and she'll come in and all you do is mess with your car. Like, what? Yeah. What's the problem? So yeah, you got some women that get jealous over inanimate objects. Some women get jealous over a man's relationship with his family.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
never heard of a dude like, I don't like the way you and your father talk all the time. I've never heard a guy say that.
I've had friends who got jealous over the way that their guy was with his mom. Not saying he was a mama's boy, but he talked to his mom, and his mom asked for help. He went over, helped his mom or stuff like that, and they would get jealous, like, hey, he spends a lot of time with his mom. And I would be like, don't you want somebody who treats their mom right? Because that shows you how they would treat you. I could understand if you're telling me a mama's boy, that's something completely different. Like, yeah, we were supposed to go to the movies, and he canceled last second because his mom said no. That's completely different. But somebody who just treats their mom right, like, okay, baby, I'm moving something, and if you have any time in your week, can you come over and help me? And he's like, yeah, sure, Mom, I got you. Or, happy birthday, Mom. Here's a gift certificate to a spa or whatever, and the girl is getting all angry at that. But that is the first indicator of how this guy will treat you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and to get jealous of that is stupid.
Yeah.
But that's stupid. Why would you get jealous of a guy on his mom? That's his mother.
Right, but there's a
out.
lot of insecure people. I actually have a jealousy family story just like that about myself being the mother. So that's why I know that actually it's probably a problem for a lot of people. But years ago, I was in Jersey and I was moving into into a new house. I didn't put curtains up in the windows yet. I didn't have time to do that. But I remember my son was like, Mom, let's move the mattress into the bedroom. I'll help you out. So we're moving the mattress, and by the time we got it in there, we were so tired that we just plopped down on the mattress. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so tired. So my boyfriend at the time, he was a crazy stalker type, right? Why is he peeking through all the windows in this house? And when he spotted us on the mattress, he calls me, and he goes, why is your son on the mattress? What is he doing on the mattress? And my son was my son was like 13 at the time. Can you believe this? He's like, why is he? I'm like, okay, first of all, where are you?
My next question is, so after that, the relationship was over, right?
Yes,
no.
Yes, that's why.
Immediately after that?
No, it was. That was a quick one. Yes, That was a quick one because my son is involved. My son's never been involved in any of my other crazos in Nevada, but that was when he was with me. And I would not even let this person come in my house when my son was there. Like, I just wasn't ready for that. So if he came to visit, my son was somewhere with his friends playing or whatever. Literally, no. But it was just hilarious. And I'm like, where are you? Are you stalking me? Like, I didn't even know that it was late at night. I think, was it late? I know it was dark.
How can you date somebody like that?
No. He didn't start out that way. If a man says to you, hi, I'm crazy, what's your name? Hey, I'm a stalker. Hey, I'm overprotective. I'm jealous.
If it didn't
you
start
would never
that way,
him again.
But it had to build up. It didn't happen automatically when you moved into the house.
No, this wasn't a build up. No. This was not a build up. I met him just prior to moving. So the point is, I did not know him very long, and that's another reason I did not want my son to even be introduced to this person, or let alone be in my house while my son is there. And I think we were talking for maybe like 6 weeks. It wasn't a super long time, but he didn't show any weird signs of anything at the time. But when I asked him where he was, and I didn't know he was actually like outdoors, peeking through my windows at night, like stalking me. He's like, why is he on the mattress?
Did he smash in the 6 weeks?
No. I just told you, not only did I not let him over to my house, now what did I want to, and was I going to? Yes, it was going that direction. But it was something about him, I couldn't put my finger on it, that was weird, and it was eerie to me. And come to find out, that was already a sign right there. That was enough. So, and when my son was in my life like that, and he was younger, and he's living with me, because you guys know he went with his dad when he was 15, that was a very protective moment for him. I would always, I just would not, have just random guys or anything like that having sex. No, not at all. So, but you know what? That's beside the point, because or unless you're asking, because sometimes when a man has smashed, then they feel more possessive. Is that what you're thinking, DJ? Because that could have been the situation.
No.
Then why did you ask?
No.
Then why did you ask? Just curious. Why did you ask? If you smashed it yet?
Because since she was acting crazy. And you say you didn't see it, I just want to know how long he smashed first or whatever. He was obsessed with you. I don't know. It's like after he was obsessed with you for some reason. So out of the
yeah, but if he smashed first, wouldn't you think that maybe he would have been more possessive? This person was possessive before he got it. So why not? That's what men do very often. Not all men. But quite often men do feel territorial
if they
after
smash
that.
first.
I would be curious if you smash, because there's a lot of women out there that claim, I didn't know that he was this kind of guy. And it's like, if you opening your legs to some dude, you should probably know what kind of guy he is before you start letting the dude move around up in your cooch. So, that's why I would be curious if somebody smashed before they start exhibiting any crazy behavior. That's why
there wasn't any signs really like that. But
when we talk about it, I always say women should be putting dudes through the gauntlet for like 6 months. If a dude can't go 6 months without cooch, you already know what kind of person he is.
And she was going 6 weeks. Anybody give it to him?
Yeah, but that's my average.
It was
I
just 6
way longer
weeks.
than
You
that.
said 6 weeks?
Yeah, to me that's not very long. I mean, most of the men that I date, wait for months and months and months. My first love, in fact, waited for 9 months. My very first so-called true love, we were together 4 years. I mean, that's just my history. When I say the chase, it's usually the chase with me, and then you get me. I told you guys that before, but that could be a long chase. So that wasn't that. To me, that wasn't that long. It was like, okay. I mean, to me, it was like, okay, 6 weeks.
I need a sound clip. Have y'all heard that song on a completely unrelated matter? Have y'all heard that song, Why You Always Lying? Have you ever heard that song?
No, not that version.
And
one of my favorites.
But I'm not lying. Incidentally, not at all.
It was a completely unrelated matter, Char. It wasn't you. Yeah.
I know, but to make it relatable, the only time I did actually do it really quickly, which was hilarious, was my ex-husband. I mean, it was so funny.
Did you say
it like
cousin?
happened
What?
the first.
Wait,
my
what?
ex-husband. He got it quickly.
Oh,
and
ex-husband.
He literally was. Ex-husband, yeah. He was with me almost 20 years, as you guys know, but it was so funny because it just happened like bam. I think it was the first date or the second date, which is very quick, but also, too, it was only the second guy I had ever been with. So I don't know if that's how he got it, because I didn't know the game yet.
I gotta admit that my ex-husband was the same way. It was really, he was the fastest ever, and we were together 10 years. Yeah, I was a slut.
There you go.
Yo, the truth coming out tonight. Damn.
Everybody makes mistakes. I made my one mistake. I made my one mistake. I'm not even going to lie.
At least she's honest and can admit that she found him irresistible.
Yeah.
but can you guys contest to this? Some slutty relationships actually last for a really long time when they start out slutty. Well, slutty starts. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say slutty relationships. Some slutty start ones where you know that they really didn't wait very long and you gave it up. A lot of times those relationships really do last for years.
No, they
don't. I don't know what the science is to it.
Yeah,
no, they don't.
I don't know about all of that.
No, they don't.
I don't know about all of that.
Kai just said 10, and I just said almost 20, so.
Well, that's two people out of a bunch of people. Most people know it doesn't last. They do a one-night stand and they're out.
Oh, wow. I don't know what that is, really. I don't know.
Char is shocked. She's shocked.
I don't
never heard of this before.
Nobody does me one-night stands. Mm-mm.
Yeah, most
You've
women.
never done a one-night stand, Char?
No, because they don't. The problem is they won't go away. A one-night stand, it does involve the fact, a one-night stand includes the fact that I'm not going to see you again. But it's always the opposite. It's like, oh, my God, they're calling 6, 8, 10 times every hour. They want to, when am I going to see you again? I'm like, my God. So, no. I haven't experienced it. I probably wanted to experience it sometime. I probably wanted a couple of one-night stands just because I can get rid of you.
No, she's probably right. The dudes are going to call because if a dude knows that he can go somewhere and get some easy cooch, yeah, he's going to keep calling. You know, now an unhinged guy that's not used to getting any cooch, yeah, he's probably gonna call 8 and 9 times an hour, like she said. You know, but yeah, why would a dude not call a girl back that all he had to do was two-step a little bit, buy her a banana daiquiri, and then next thing you know, he's in them drawers. Yeah. Why would he not call that number back? You know what I mean?
Once again, that's. Do
y'all really do that? Like if it was that easy, y'all tell your boys and then call that number back?
Well, I mean, I don't know about the tell your boys thing. I've never had.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, yo, man, let me tell you, I just smashed. I
that don't even sound right.
With my friend, like, oh, okay, congratulations. You know what I mean? But yeah, a dude like that's the whole like women think, which is funny to me. They think they're taking some kind of power back by going on like Tinder and just smashing dudes without any strings attached and like, yeah, I'm in charge of my section. And it's like that's exactly what dudes want. Like they want men listen to your problems and they feign interest in the things that you're into because they're trying to get to sex.
Yeah.
You're cutting out all of that. And you're using some dude that you put in the friend zone for all of the heavy lifting, and this guy doesn't have. Yeah, why would he have a problem with you having male friends? He's going to tell you, I'm glad I got some female friends too. So he can come through, smash you, leave you with some wet sheets, and get out of there and go home. And then when it comes to the issues of I need to find an Ethernet cord. Do you know where I can go to get an Ethernet cord? And you got that other soggy, soft-shouldered, curved back dude that's gonna come over like I can help you with it. Yeah, and see, what you need to do is unplug this, and then he does all of that stuff that the other guy don't have to deal with. So when it comes time for the nighttime to come, and he's getting horny again, he's gonna come back over. Netflix and chill, and then all of a sudden he's going to remember. Oh, I got an early day tomorrow, so I gotta let me talk to you. I gotta go. And then the guy, your male friends are going to continue to be the cleanup dudes, you know. And then when he leaves you, because it's time to get serious about life, he's going to marry some other girl or whatever. It doesn't matter if y'all had a baby or whatever. He's going to get some other chick because you're an easy club rat. No guy is going to want that. Like Amber Rose, no dude wants Amber Rose to be his wife unless he's a sucker. Kanye West is a sucker. Nobody wanted Kim Kardashian to be their wife. That's why when it came time to actually marry her, she got her walking paper.
Right.
Reggie Bush was out.
And what was Kanye doing? Running around paying porn stars to bang him. He's a trick. That's always what he's been. So then what? Kim Kardashian had him in the friend zone. And so when she finally called him and said, okay, now it's your turn, he jumped to this situation and he married her as quick as he could because he's a clown.
But Logic, I think she trapped him too because I think she knew that she wasn't the marrying type. But if she's had baby after baby after baby, it's like, okay, he's going to stay with me.
They were already married. What are you talking about?
What?
He was going to stay with her anyway. What are you talking about? You're misunderstanding here. He was going to stay with her anyway. He was the friend that she had. He was the friend that she had on the back burner. He was secretly in love with her because most girls have that. They want a guy that's just in love with them on the back burner, and that was him.
Right.
So she didn't have to trap him. She knew he was trapped already. What are you talking about?
Well, what do you mean by trapped already? Because I don't think he would have married her otherwise. That's what I'm saying. She wasn't the married type.
You're crazy.
Yes, he would.
You're crazy.
Who wanted him?
You're crazy.
So you think that he was just already hooked just because he was the side guy or something, or the backup guy?
He was in love with her while she was going after other dudes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Char.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not even a guy, and I can tell you that.
Okay, that makes sense because he felt lucky when she finally was released from the other relationship or whatever.
Yes, exactly. He feels like he is the luckiest man in the world.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah. He puts this girl in his music videos. And this is after she greased her ass up and took a picture and put it out there as a mother. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to understand, those babies that she had was an insurance policy.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what I said, though, Logic. That's what I just said. Literally, that's what I was saying.
No, listen. You're misunderstanding what she said. He was going to be married to her anyway, but it's an insurance policy. Because
okay, not a trap, an insurance policy. Right, not a trap.
Right.
He didn't need to be trapped.
Because
Got it.
let's say Kanye West, his nose is wide open because, he is what he is.
Right.
If some young hottie comes along that looks 8,000 times better than her and she's 20 years younger, now Kim has an insurance policy. She has him on the hook for child support. You know, he could easily divorce her, especially if it was before 10 years. He could easily divorce her. Say, okay, I'm good. I got it out my system. That's insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why she keeps having them, or surrogate, or whatever. She just keeps having the babies because she knows what she's doing.
The same thing with Janet Jackson.
Yeah. She had
before Beyonce had Jay-Z's kids, he had to sign some kind of deal with her for $10 million. I can't remember what it was because I really didn't care, but. Yeah, she doesn't think she's lucky to be with him. She just is with him. For whatever reason.
I think it was a power couple trip. I think it was more like we're good together financially and for our careers.
No. See, again, you're still thinking like a chick. If he really thought that, he would never pay some broad money to be with him. If some girl told me I had to sign some kind of contract for $10 million for her to have my kids, I would laugh in her face. Okay, well, you go ahead and pack your bags, then, sweetie pop. I don't know what to tell you because I'm not giving you nothing. If you can't be bothered to bear my children in the world without money, take a walk. I don't know what to tell you. This must be a joke, a very elaborate joke that I don't get. But
I mean, think about how asinine that is.
I don't get that, Parson. I don't get that. I don't understand. I'm not following that at all. I'm thinking that it was more like okay, if we ever separate or divorce, then you owe me this much because I'm worth this much. I didn't realize.
But again, see, that's an insult. That's an
equation.
Insult to me because now you think what you're telling me is. You feel you have to trap me with a contract for me to be a proper father to my kids? Is that what you think of me? So if that's the case, we don't need to be together anyway.
Wow.
But see, only a man with self-respect and fortitude will be able to tell a girl that and not be like, man, I ain't gonna make her mad. You see how fine she is? Shit, whatever she got. You can't.
Yeah.
Dudes really act like somehow like they are beneath these
so
girls
wide
in some
open.
way.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
And that's why they act that way.
A big button and smile, and men don't know what to do. Well, not all men, once again, but some men don't know what to do. They can't handle it. And those are the weak ones, Kanye and Jay. I hate to say Jay-Z's weak because with his personality, generally speaking, I thought he was more of an alpha male, but I don't know. But
based on what?
The masculinity, I don't know. He just seems like that type, I guess. Well,
let me tell you something. This dude is pushing 50, and his hair looks like one of these 20-year-old kids that's trying to have some kind of identity. This is what I use. I make my hair. Like, he looks like a complete.
He waited to turn 50, almost 50 for that to happen, yeah.
He was 40-something years old still wearing fitted hats. Like, I'm sorry. You ain't going to sit here and tell me that this dude really knows who he is or whatever. He doesn't.
Like identity crisis.
He's very concerned. Oh, listen, This Is America was dropped by, what's his name? Donald Glover.
Charles.
Right.
I kind of think Charles Gambino on him. Okay.
Well, that is.
I'm thinking of this one.
Yeah, so he dropped that, and then all of a sudden Jay-Z comes out with Still Nigga. Now, all these years, he's been rapping. He's never done a black conscious thing ever. But This Is America dropped, got all of this critical acclaim, then all of a sudden you know what, I'll go ahead and drop this because I'm not trying to cash in and be considered a woke nigga too. I just happen to feel this way now of all times. Come on.
Well, it's just like Beyonce. People are like, oh yeah, she's woke. She's this. I'm like, are you guys kidding me right now? After she lightened her skin, because Beyonce is not that damn light. After she lightened her skin, got 3 nose jobs so her nose isn't that broad, and no longer wears her natural dark brown hair color. Now she's woke, and y'all are like, yeah, Beyonce's. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, when they said that halftime show was about her, what I was horrified. I said, how, like she's wearing a onesie, you know, with her ass on display, and all she has, everybody else has afros. She still has
I heard about that.
her regular hair out the way she's always rocked it. So what makes you think that this is anything besides a theme to a show that she's doing for the Super Bowl? Like, why would the Super Bowl be the moment? You know what I mean? Like, she could have done a million and one things if she all of a sudden became conscious and black awareness and all of that stuff. It just made this connection. She could have, held a press conference, started some kind of, fund for underprivileged black people. She could have, maybe had some, set up free classes and courses for young adults who have kids but don't have the opportunity or money to go to college and, receive higher education. She could have done a lot of things. But she decided to shake her ass on the field with a bunch of people dressed like Black Panthers. And y'all thought that meant something other than shock value? Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know what being a Black Panther is about. And I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know.
No. If you walked up on her and said, what do you think about what just happened to Huey Newton? She probably would answer the question like, oh, I think he, not realizing he's dead.
If you go back to her previous interviews, she's really, and I'm not really trying to talk bad about her because, it's, everybody has their thing. She was into her music. But in terms of education, she's really not educated. She was just into her music.
Yeah.
And she knows how to make money, and right now, doing black stuff is in, so that's what she's doing. Again, I'm not knocking her. That's her stuff.
It's just the reality. Nothing has to be hate, and that's another thing. Like, black people got to stop acting like everything is, oh, you're a hater. No. She was a kept young Texas girl who had 2 parents who wanted her to become a star. As weird as that is, that you got 2 parents that are the only thing they want their kid to be is famous. She grew up in the industry, so she to think that she understands or has experienced normal life, you're fooling yourself.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She doesn't know anything about that. She probably doesn't even associate with people that has lived a normal life. She doesn't know anything about it. It's the same thing with Lil Wayne. The fact that he tries to act like he's gangster. It's like, yo, you've been in the industry since you were 14. One way or another, you have been taken care of. So when did this thuggery happen? What are you talking about?
For real.
And it's the same thing with Jay-Z's the same way. Jay-Z has been around rappers or been running around on tour as a roadie for rappers since he was 15. So when were you some crack kingpin in Brooklyn? When did this happen? What are you talking about?
When did he go to the gangster mode, the gangster phase? When did that epic on the street corner on his block?
they all got that profile, all of them.
Yeah. All of them are Maxim players, and I get these jobs. But then when some video hoe come out with a book, you find out all these dudes put money in their account. So they tricking.
Yeah, exactly.
Tricking on the video, John. I'ma pay a girl to spend time with me.
And she wasn't even that pretty too.
I don't care if she was gorgeous. I'ma pay a girl to spend time
Kai,
with me.
who's not that pretty? Who was it, Kai? I didn't hear that.
Who
is it?
What? That's crazy.
Talking about Superhead. Superhead wasn't. She no. She said Superhead wasn't pretty. I said it didn't matter if she was. Why would you pay a woman to spend time with you?
Exactly.
That's a trick. You're a trick.
But she didn't think that she was pretty. She just knew that she was very good at that one particular thing, and she could do it for 5 hours.
We understand this, Char. We're just saying. We're just saying.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting
why
more
would you
specific.
pay?
Sorry. Is that okay for radio?
Okay. So real quick. So let's get back to topic. So, Char, you told us about a jealousy story. Logic, what's your jealousy story? Whether it's family or relationship, preferably relationship.
Oddly enough, I've had women get. I don't know if I call it jealous, but they seem like they get annoyed that I don't spend as much time with them as I do working and making money. which is some kind of weird, paradigm, because then they at the same time like the fact that I could take them places, or if they're in a pinch, they oh, can you help me? And so I don't know where they think that this money and options and all of this stuff comes from. I don't know where they're putting this together in their mind, but you work a lot. Yeah. Have you seen my car? Have you seen where I live? Like, yeah, it costs money. You like going to nice restaurants? I mean, we can go to Checkers if you want. We could do Red Lobster, but I just thought you wanted to put a little intellectual spring in your step, But hey, if you want to just go to the Crown Fried Chicken.
Popeye.
and get a fish sandwich, with one of these people that puts their work boots in the lettuce and takes a picture of it and think it's funny. And then, yeah, we can go there. I'm not going to eat, but yeah, knock yourself out. That's weird. So yeah, work, I think, has always been the thing that I've had to have discussions about.
Yes, that's the thing here.
It's bizarre though. I mean, you would think that I jump up to go to work like oh man, I can't wait to go to work, and I just rush out the house early because I can't. Like, no, I just go when I gotta go, and it's over when it's over, and I come home when work is over. So I don't spend any extra time at work.
Is that the same kind of story you have, BJ? I mean, I've met girls who have been jealous that their man. I know that. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story real quick. I know this one girl. She was jealous that her man worked a lot, so she cheated on him and spent up the house money on clothes, and then she did that for 3 or 4 months or something, and then left. And then he gets, the house bill like, hey, you haven't paid it in a while, and this bill and that bill like, hey, where you at? And, she did all that because he worked a lot. But I used to tell her that he's working. She loved to shop. And I would be like, he's working to support you. What are you doing? What are you talking about? He worked like 6 days a week, I believe.
He was a mark.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a mark.
No, he is. If he was working in order to satiate her spending habits, no, that's a clown.
But I mean, it really wasn't. He was working for the family, and she just likes to shop. So I mean, he wasn't going to be like, you need to stop shopping. That's how he met her. And
listen, if she's complaining, he absolutely can say that. Like, listen, stop shopping. You don't want me to work so much. Stop going to Amazon, and we can have more time together. We got kids, you bum.
Going shopping. What?
Yeah, well, she left him because he worked too much. So I've heard that a lot, and it's
crazy.
Something I always have to make girls realize. Like, what do you? I know this one girl. Oh man, I didn't really know her, but I worked with her way back in my 20s, and her husband made a ton of money, but I guess he worked. So she got bored from being at home a lot, so she decided to get a job where I was. Not that she needed a job, she was just bored. And that was back in my early 20s, so it was like, what, $13 an hour or something like that? I can't remember. But she ended up messing with a dude, at the job. She cheated on her husband with the dude at the job. So her husband's making like 6 figures, bought her a house. She didn't have to work. Blah, blah, blah. So she decided to mess with some dude at the job who had, quote unquote, more time for her, but it was because he worked with her.
Oh, God. Stupid. Ain't that stupid? That's stupid, man. That's, oh, God. That's stupid.
The guy in your heart sounds like it's hurting.
It does. It does hurt because you know, like most men go through such a siege of just drinking buckets of bullshit at work in order to just they're trying to live a decent life. You know what I mean? They're trying to be a guy that can provide options. And when you're on this track, because, you know, maybe you didn't have the opportunity to go to college and all this other stuff and have a different path, so you're working this blue-collar gig, you know, or a gig that you hate. It might not even just be blue-collar, just something that you hate because you want to have options. And your reward is your chick gaffling some dude in the parking lot because he said all the right things at her job.
That's a devastating
Yeah, I
blow.
remember I heard of that, and I was like, are you kidding me? I was horrified. Other girls were horrified in the sense of you're letting all that money go. I was horrified for a different reason.
It's stupid, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was horrified for a different reason. But okay, so, BJ, what's your jealousy story?
I don't know. I don't really have one like that crazy. I don't. No.
BJ, you
You've never
had
had any
that was a stalker or anything or crazy, just snap out or?
I just don't pay no mind. It's just like no, not really.
Or even family. You've never
chill.
had family that was jealous that you had a relationship, or a friend that was jealous that you spent time with another friend?
No. I'm very odd person
Lord.
like that. No.
Yes, I see that.
I can't do it. I don't deal with the BS. I don't deal with the BS. I'm just straight. I cut all that crap out. I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Trust me. You jealous? Keep walking. I ain't got time for you.
I've had stories of friends who were jealous of friends, friends who were, and these are all females, by the way. The guys are just jealous that I hung with other guys.
I'm about to say, yeah, right. That's cool.
But females were jealous that maybe I said happy birthday to another girl and forgot to say happy birthday to them.
That's
or
ridiculous.
I took a friend to the beach and didn't take them to the beach, or I can't deal with female friends. They're just annoying. In terms of relationship stories, my ex-husband, ironically, because he cheated on me, he was jealous. The reason I had female friends was because of him, because he said he didn't want me to have guy friends. He didn't want any guys around me. I couldn't talk to guys at work. I remember this one guy at work, he liked me. And my ex-husband almost ran him over with a car, but he cheated on me. So this is the conundrum of how are you going to be jealous? So that doesn't.
Well, that was a control mechanism. That wasn't genuine. Yeah, jealousy. He was using that as a way to keep you distracted. You know what I mean? Seriously, like for a dude to say, I don't want you, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm built differently, but, you know, if you're with a girl that, you know, is good looking, you're going to understand that it's going to be people that want to smash her. Now, I totally get and agree with a dude telling a girl, once you realize this dude is basically putting the work in to try to smash you, you need to stop talking to him. You know, don't engage him anymore unless you absolutely have to. Like, it's somebody, like, you got to drop a report or something off because it's work, you know, but it shouldn't be anything beyond that. I understand that, and I think a dude is definitely justified for saying something like that, you know, but I don't want you talking to any guy or whatever. That's a control mechanism. And if you go along with that or humor it, then the dude knows that it's possible for him to control and manipulate you. So he's going to keep pushing the envelope farther and farther. You know, and this whole, he was going to run him over with a car. He wasn't. He was not going to go to jail, you know, for manslaughter, for some guy that he saw in a parking lot at your job or whatever the case would have been. Okay, but that was a show for you to, oh, he's crazy. I didn't think he was going to, don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. So it was for that performance. So you would think, like, oh, he's serious.
Well, I remember that one of my female friends, he didn't believe she existed. He thought I used her as a way that I'm going to some dude's house. So to this day, me and my friend, we make a joke that she doesn't exist. He didn't believe she was real, and he was like, "You're going to a dude's house." I'm like, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, most people, male or female, if they just out of the blue just accuse you constantly of cheating and it doesn't make any sense, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're doing. So that's why they're seeing shadows everywhere where they don't exist, you know, because they're the type of person that would be taking a number behind your back, you know. So they're assuming that's the only thought process they have. They can't think it would be anything else because they know they would do it. So that's already a red flag. So if anybody is dealing with somebody right now that is constantly, you looking at that girl, blah, 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 that chick is looking at dudes all the time. So she's assuming that you're looking at girls and vice versa. If a dude is always accusing you of cheating, like, what you dressed like that for? Why your cousin over at the house? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. He's more than likely the type of dude that would smash.
Why is your cousin at the house?
Listen, that's real. You know, what's going on? Yeah, that's because more than likely he's the type that would smash his cousin if nobody would ever find out. And he would go ahead and do something behind your back that's supposed to be innocent, like helping somebody move. You know, I had a girl in my life years ago. You know, she was always waiting. Now, who that? It would literally be somebody, like if I was coming out of a store, and you know how you pay for something and people say thank you or whatever, or, you know, and you're like, yeah, you're welcome, or whatever the case may be. Who was that? Like what? Who was what?
And I couldn't do that. That's crazy.
Who? They sounded close to the phone. They sounded close. I couldn't to the phone.
That's stupid.
What are you talking about?
Not time for that stuff.
But it's because she was a little sneak. That's what the situation was. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've heard of stories from my friends where they couldn't look at the waitresses. Why are you looking at her so long? I was ordering my food. They couldn't look at the waitresses. They couldn't look at the women in the stores, the cashiers in the stores. They couldn't look at them. Obviously, no female friends.
That's crazy.
Female family. You could have, but it was, you had stipulations. I've heard of that before. Like, I've heard stories from my friends telling me about that stuff.
There's rules and regulations.
There are stipulations, like how much you can spend time with them and stuff like that.
Awkward dinners where, you know, why is she smiling so hard when she talked to you? Like, oh, my God, what you want me to ask her?
Wow. Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Why is she smiling so hard?
Yeah, crazy.
Some people do have a naturally big smile.
Well, one of our listeners wrote in and they said they were with this crazy, insane guy, and he used to basically follow her around, read her text messages, read her emails, and all of this stuff. And she finally broke up she finally broke up with him. And then he called her later on and said he got some girl pregnant, and that was her fault that he got some girl pregnant. So
what?
He drove him to it. In other words, she drove him into the arms of another woman.
That's stupid.
That's
wow.
Kind
you
of
have
crazy,
to you have to in a way admire the madness You know, insane.
You have to admire the imagination.
And
wow.
so another, I'm reading these real quick. So another one of our listeners messaged in and said that their parents divorced. Her father remarried, and the woman he remarried was jealous that he spent time with his daughter. She didn't like the girl because he spent time with her instead of spending time with the new woman. So she was jealous of the kid.
Oh, the stepdaughter? Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's well.
You know, you usually hear more of that, like
coming
from guys, where the woman has a kid with another guy or something like that, and especially if it's a boy. Dudes usually come in and got a problem with the stepson or something like that. You usually see it, but it's rare to have a woman that's like, that's your daughter. Like, what?
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, get the step in. If we get a divorce, please, get out my house.
You should definitely walk.
It's for real.
Somebody's jealous of your child. You know what? Now, this may sound insensitive. I can totally get behind somebody being done because of you and your kid, meaning if you have a ridiculous relationship with your kid, then they pull the ripcord like I can't do this no more. This is ridiculous. This whole way that you and your kid are, I can't do it. I can understand that more than somebody staying in a relationship and being jealous of a kid. Just leave. Like, if you can't do it, leave. Because some people are ridiculous with their kids. Like I knew this one girl that thought it was totally okay that her kid, whenever he would have a nightmare, and this seemed to happen often, that he should be able to just come into bed and sleep with her. And this is why she got a dude. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
And this guy is not this kid's father. So it's like
that's crazy.
Every time he claims that he has a bad dream, it's just, okay, well, move over. And now Junior's going to be sleeping here. And the boy was maybe 13 or 14 years old or something like that.
Oh my God, no! I was gonna be like, no. When your kid has a nightmare, they should be able to. But 13 or 14, no.
No, I mean, listen. Even let's say he was 10. At some point, it's like when do you start making the connection that maybe he's not having a nightmare all the time? Maybe he just wants to sleep in the bed with his mother. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
You got at some point you have to be rational. If you're asking someone else to come into your life and want to take on all of the responsibility that comes with it, you got to meet motherfuckers halfway. You can't ask a guy to come in and then every single time your kid has an allergy reaction, oh, they got to sleep in our bed now, so do you mind if... What? No. You got to start rearranging things. And if you are not prepared to rearrange things, then you are not prepared for a relationship. Just like if a dude does not want to do anything for you financially or help you in any way, you and your kid, but he claims he wants to be in a relationship, then he's not ready to be in a relationship. So that goes both ways. You can't just continue to operate your life like a single mother, but want your dude around. That doesn't make sense. Why would he be there? He would be a fool to be there. I know I wouldn't put up with it. I don't care how much I loved her.
I agree, but being jealous of a child is really crazy. But anyways, we're actually off the air now, so I want to thank everyone that did write in. We didn't get to everything, so I'll be answering the questions that came in and reading a couple more stories next week on our all new show. I do want to thank everybody that called in. Go check out Zipporah Hair and Eyelash on their Instagram at blackpearlbeauty_pro. And thank you for listening, everyone. Peace out.
Please.
Char's already gone, so she's not going to give her famous goodbye speech.
Yeah, she's gone.